Hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. But we are doing a highly professional stream today, and that means we have a new technical difficulties landing page. Thank you all for being here. It's time for Undertale. This is a game. Some people have told me it's good. I don't really know what to expect. Some of you seem to like it. Arthur's absolutely zoinked out on catnip right now. Let's give a quick shout out to the boy. Can we get some love for the boy? Does anyone here love the boy? Can we get... Hold on, let me just get a quick... Captain! Oh my god, and we've got a hype train. Here we go. Hang on. Before we go kiss the boy, which I'm going to do, thank you very much, Captain, for supporting us here and getting us hype, getting us excited for this game that I guess is an important game. I guess we'll see why. I guess I'll find out why. Jaws, welcome in for the first time, chat. Thank you for being here. And all of you, thank you so much for supporting the channel.
Wow.
Our Play Guy, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Savvy Nelson, Skeleton Flower, Rent Boy, thank you so much for your resubs. Thank you so much for being here. I am, and Coffee and Tacos, thank you so much for the gift sub. Thank you, everybody. My ears are triangles. Do you even know? What? Is that, okay, is this a spoiler? Oh, Arthur, I was like, I didn't realize you're talking to him. I got scared. I thought this was maybe a Undertale spoiler. And thank you, Charisse, very much for using that Undertale command. This is my first playthrough of Undertale. So while this game has been out for a while, I don't know what to expect. It's a very story choice based game, so please don't spoil it for me. And welcome in, Smallest Yeet. I like your name. Yes, please come join us and enjoy it here. It's great to be here live because you get the music, which is an important part of my streams. And also, you get to be with this chat, and this chat really is the best chat on Twitch. I'm here by accident. The chat is the best. Welcome to my little digital bar. It's like going to a bar. Yeah, I know. I could tell that the music was a little loud. I'm going to turn it down. It's like going to a bar where instead of a football game, you watch me play Undertale. And instead of people you don't want to talk to, it's people you want to talk to. So I hope that comparison makes sense for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and kiss my cat now.
Wow.
He's absolutely lost in the sauce right now. He's got, oh my god, it's 2 days till a year of this? Oh my god, I gotta do something special. Maybe I should deliver on some of the things I promised. Maybe that's a good way to celebrate. I could do the, I'm trying to do maybe next week, the e-girl stream. I got the wig. I got it, and I've been wanting to get back into Final Fantasy XIV, so it's the perfect reason to do it. I'm gonna get back into e-girl stream, cooking stream. Gotta do it. All right, so let's get into it. What do you say, buddy? Oh, shirt of the day. Before we do that, let's do that. Shirt of the day. Shirt of the day is Bjork. Bjork. This is your daily reminder to listen to Bjork. Her music is good, and she's a great artist. and everything that she has done creatively and philosophically has meant a lot to me and anyone else who has good taste. So thank you, Bjork. Carly Carl, thank you so much for the resub, and thank you, Mia Reina, for the resub. That's very cool. Almost a year, yeah, wow. Yes, okay. Good job, Elena. Good job listening to Bjork before the stream. That's good. You're doing great. Everyone remember to listen to Bjork. Holy cow, we're almost at a year. I can't believe it. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll deliver on some of the things I promised soon. Okay, well, everyone sip. Everyone get your tea, get ready. We're gonna enjoy Undertale today. Ooh, Grucia, good question. Favorite Bjork song is hard. Favorite Bjork song is very hard. Even favorite Bjork album is hard. Very, very, very tough. It depends. It depends on what you're going through, you know? I'm a big fan of Vespertine. I'm a big fan of Biophilia, low key. It's one of the later ones, a little less appreciated at times. But I love Biophilia. And if you're not hip on Bjork, the Biophilia live tour is a great starting place, I think, for a lot of people. Or with that chorus of Icelandic girls and the giant Tesla coil and shit, it's amazing. I mean, debut is probably the best IMO, but that's her best pop record, you know. You got those house bangers on there, but it's impossible. You can't pick a favorite Bjork song. I do. I mean, Cocoon strikes a very special chord for me. Possibly, maybe Hidden Place. It's hard to say. It's hard to say though. Okay, we're gonna play Undertale now. Johnny, yeah, obviously, you gotta spend a day eating edibles and lying around listening to Bjork, like for sure. Volatile vibes. How do I find? Says, how do you find motivation to do things? That's a good question, you know. And I'm someone who's I've had a lot of struggles with depression in my life, and that's one of the things that makes it feel like it's hard to get out of bed and do anything at all. And I think a lot of people have had that. If that's what you're talking about, you're definitely not alone. But I think there's something learned in knowing that just biting the bullet and doing something that changes your perspective, changes your uh, physical location, always helps, no matter what. Just getting up and taking a walk, getting one thing done, it helps to conquer that feeling of being overwhelmed by something, you know? But being overwhelmed by everything, really. Feeling like there's just how do you get up and do things when there's too many things to do and nothing seems to matter and all that kind of stuff. The real answer is just that it's fun. It's fun to boop 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 around. Even when things suck, it's a lot more fun than not boop boop booping around. You know? So sometimes you just gotta boop 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 around. Go take a walk. You go buy a little hook at the hardware store, and you put it on your wall. And now you got a new place for a hat, and you did something. You boop 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 around. Put a little hat rack on the wall. I don't know. That's something I did a week ago. you know, you treat yourself to like a fancy, like a boba tea or something. And you go, whoa, that's fucking crazy. I couldn't have that in my bed. And you just got boop boop around. But yeah, that's my advice. I don't know. I think that I also you find self-care practices that work for you. I think meditation works for a lot of people. Uh, my exercising, taking a bike ride, doing whatever you can. I do acupuncture is great. Um, there's all sorts of different levels of things. Writing in your book, reading something, taking a walk is primo. Getting some fresh air. But it's I think yeah, I think I've gotten better at it as I've gotten older. Taking taking initiative, knowing that the things that I force myself to do often have a very, very direct result. You know, I wouldn't say I'm one of those people who's like, I wake up at 5 in the morning and I run 3 miles and I don't, I'm too sleepy for that. But taking a second in the morning, have some tea and just listen to music, take a walk with some music, listen to some music, make some music. That's a good start. Yeah. Or get addicted to coffee, whatever whatever works for you. Get a cat. Cat helps too. Some people love I'm not a dog person, but dogs force you to go for walks. And that it helps a lot of people. I know that. But anyway, let's get into Undertale. I appreciate the question, and any of you who are having a hard time feeling motivated to do anything, we've all been there. I'm there all the time. I had a hard time this morning. To be honest, I was very sleepy, but I had made appointments for myself. I made this appointment to do this with y'all, and I made the appointment to have a guy come make my internet a little bit better. So I hope that this fucking stream is gorgeous for you. By the way, I might have fixed the crunch. I might have fixed any frame dropping issues. This is my favorite appointment today, obviously. But yeah, stay tuned. Let me know how it goes with the crunch and with if there's any drop frames, because I think that I might have improved the quality of this dramatically today. So, okay, we're gonna play Undertale. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Let's do this. You'll say crunch if it's crunchy. Thank you, Shreese. I think I might have actually fixed it. I think it might just be the fucking third-party app I was using to capture audio, and they can eat shit. But getting centered, not gonna let my frustration out. All right, Undertale time. Pausing the tunes. Now I need to make it full screen so you can see it. There we go, F4. How about now? Come on. Come on, there we go. The music is loud. All right. Hang on. Hang tight. Hold on. Hold up. Boop boop music. 1 second. We're gonna make the music a little bit quieter. And we're gonna do this. Doot. How's that for you? Looks good. Okay, cool. Now, I've heard the music in this is good. It's not just this over and over, is it? All right, should I play with a controller or should I play with the mouse and keyboards? What do you think? Controller? Okay. All right, begin game. Name the fallen human. Oops. Alright, we're gonna be. Oh, you can't be Pringus? Okay. Okay. Fuck. Pradley. Pradley? Is Pradley gonna be too long? Dante. That is a little Latin reference for you. Dante. Little classic literature. No? Okay. Because he's fallen. Get it? Okay. Let's call him, I'm gonna call him Scram. Yes, my name is Scram. Scramb. Oh, what's up? My name is Scram. Oh, that's nice. Oh, cool. Oh, what's up, Chloe? Hey. Yeah. This guy's cute. Hey, by the way, what do we think of windowed versus full screen? We good here? Thought this was more of a windowed before we get started. Cool. Okay, what's up? Yeah, here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my soul. Okay. Okay. Aww. Music still loud? Okay, how's this? Want some love, don't you? Yeah, we all want love. Okay. Oh, he's a fucking liar. He wasn't full of love. Oh my god. This is a mean flower. Oh, 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 oh. 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 Crack. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, mother. Thank you, Mike the Slav. Thank you so much. All right, she's pretty cool.
Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry.
All right. Please guide me, Mama. What's this? Ah, the shadow of the ruins. Oh. Oh. Okay, scram. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, cool. Okay, so it's like that, and then I go bing bang bong. Cool, no problem. Okay. Make progress here. You'll need to trigger several switches. Thank you, by the way, mods. Let's give a quick shout out to the mods. Really appreciate you taking care of me here, because I'm gonna really not want to have this spoiled for me. I've never played this. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for understanding that I don't know anything about this game, so appreciate you taking that into account. And thank you very much, One Large Chicken and Cece, very much for those resubs. That's very cool, and I'm very glad to have you here for this special game. Okay. Okay, that's one I gotta flip. Okay. Hey, Candy, thank you so much for using your Prime on us. Really appreciate that. We love Jeff Bezos. He's totally normal. It doesn't, looking at his face doesn't bother me. And it doesn't bother me at all. He's regular, and he deserves all of his money. He deserves, totally deserves to have it.
DJ Amazon Prime.
Amazon Fresh.
Steve Jobs is dead. All hail Jeff Bezos.
In the mix.
Shreese, you nailed that in the mix right there. Okay. As a human living in the underground, monsters may attack you. Uh-oh. You encounter a monster, you'll enter... Excuse me. Enter a fight. Oh my god, what? While you're in a fight, strike up a friendly conversation? Stall for time, I'll come to resolve the conflict. You just talk with them? What? This is... Hey, Frog.
Wow. Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry.
Thank you, Rue. Thank you so much for the gift to Anne with a plan. Life is difficult for this enemy. It's so sweet. Oh, thanks, Mommy.
Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry.
Okay. Oh. Why is the music dramatic? Why is it scary? She's so speedy. Scramb. Therese, scramb. Mommy? So she's coming back, right? Damn. I guess this is one of those times where you have to decide whether or not you want to wait for the safety of Mother or go off into the world on your own and see if you can make it. Perhaps going off into the world on your own is the only way in which you can become stronger. Mom, I'm gonna figure out these puzzles on my own. Uh-huh. Ah.
Wow.
I'm gonna keep complimenting him. Thank you, Strawberry Milk. Ah. What does mercy mean? Oh. Okay. I'm not gonna fall for that. Huh? Oh. Thank you, Bjork. Thank you, One Large Chicken, for the gift to Taya. Thank you so much. And Gil, thank you for the posture check. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna give this frog a compliment. He's blushing. Oh, here to you. Cool, let's, great. Bye-bye, Zach. See you soon. Peace, have a good flight. My roommate, Zach, just, left the house. That means we can do whatever we want now. He's flying. He's going to visit my, my extended Sicilian family. Not actually going to visit them. Oh no. What does that mean? Oh, no problem. Oh. Oh, who are you? Hey, Whimsun. Let's see. Too sensitive to fight. Okay. Got it, yeah, for sure. 3 out of 4 gray rocks recommend you push them. Oh, cool. Yeah, I got it. What's this? Oh, it's another Whimsun. I'm not gonna fight her. Am I kidding? There. Easy. No problem. I feel like I'm pretty good at this game. But how do I find out where the hole is? Oh. I think I get the picture. Oh, mold small. What's your deal? Okay, that's... What's that all about? You're telling me you can't be dummy thick and smart? That's antiquated, Undertale. This isn't right. That's not right. I think that you can be dummy thick and smart. Thank you. Thanks. I'm one of the good ones. Thank you. What can I say? I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good ones. So, yeah. That's right. It's me. I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good ones. So, thank you. Okay. Let's, oh. Okay. I'm gonna flirt with you. Okay. Okay, did a little sexy wiggle. Wow. Oh, cool. Okay, so you can really just like all you have to do is flirt with the monsters and then you can just leave. I like this game. Okay, I think it's like this. Oh shit. Okay. Gotta go up a little higher. Got it. Yippee! Hey, thank you so much, Captain. That's really fucking cool. Thank you. Let's get a. Can we get a quick round of applause? Thank you very much, Captain. That's really cool. Thank you for funding that. From my throne. It's going to be a little monitor stand that I'm going to use for, if you're not aware, I'm doing Discord-only streams that are when I do my exercise bike, which is something I try to do daily, but don't always get to do it. But I like to play games while I'm on my bike, watch things, etc. And so I've been hosting for subscribers special Discord only streams, and that's going to be very useful for that. So thank you so much, Captain. All right, and we're going to get back to the game though. I know the music is loud. I don't know why it's so much louder than it used to be. I'll figure that out. Oops. I love you, Frogget. Oh, come on. Keep misjudging her. Oh no. Oh wow, I have to go all the way back down. I forgot. That song, Angeline, is called "Don't Ask Me to Explain" by Of Montreal. It's a great song. Okay, Frog at A, I'm gonna give you a compliment. Ribbit. Oh shit. Nice. Ramp. All right. Did it. Hey, Ingrid, welcome back. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming by. Sending lots of love back to you. Okay, I'm gonna flirt with this little juicy flan. Cool. Oh, this is so whimsical. No, you moved the wrong way. That was cute. Oh. Come on. Just hang out for 1 second, Rock. Okay, cool. Oh. Trees, I really like the hee 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 hee. That is, I feel like, how I'm going to feel this whole time. Nice. I don't feel like I can trust it. I don't want to use force. Excuse me. A little tickle. I guess I gotta use force. Oh. No sense of humor. Oh, it's crying. I told Napstablook a little joke. Oops. Napstablook wants to show me something. Is he okay? What happened to him? What happened to him? Okay, yeah, I want to eat the spider bake sale, but where are the spiders? Are they in there? Oh. Oh, this is cute. Okay, it looks like we're having a wholesome time today. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Ah! Ingrid! Big round of applause for Ingrid. Thank you so much, Ingrid. Very cool, very kind. Thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. You're very grateful. If you got a gift sub from Ingrid or from someone else today, please say thank you. Please thank your gifter. Thank you, Smokey. Thank you, Sharice. Thank you, everyone, for clapping. And thank you again, Ingrid. Alright. Hey, froggies. Oh. Flirt with you. Anon, thank you for the gift of Alta Vibes. That's very cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Migos doesn't have a care in the world. I'm gonna talk to you. Hi. He's doing one of these. He's got funky moves. Cool. Love that little dancey dance. Oh? Okay. It's just one switch. Oops. I'm gonna have to fall down that hole. Oh my gosh, this guy has a big eye. What's your deal? Don't pick on him. I cannot imagine using violence. Like, there's a violence option? Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, what's up? Wait, it's my friend. Hold on. I want to say hi to my friend. That was silly. That was very silly. That was a silly thing for that ghost to say. Okay, did the switch. Should I get this carrot? Hey, Raichi, thank you so much for contributing to the new monitor. Really appreciate that. I'm hoping to get that nice little portable monitor to use for some on-location streams and for the bike ones. I think that's gonna be really good for if I do these cooking things. Is one of my next priorities. So thank you for getting that started. Oh, look at this weird guy. Alright. Oh no, stop raining carrots on me. Okay. I'm going to dinner. I'm gonna talk to him. Oh. Glad he gave me that snack. Oops. I'm gonna flirt with this guy. Ay. Okay. Ah. Shoot, I gotta... He doesn't have a care in the world. Watch him dance, look at him dance. Dang, I gotta heal up. Oops. Oh no, one large chicken, that stinks. So sorry. Did I press the switch? No, not yet. I'm gonna read this plaque first. The bar door is not an exit, it simply marks a rotation in perspective. Huh. What? Can I just run away from all these people? I guess I can. Oh yeah. Oops. Thank you for the mind gun, Caroline. It's definitely going to be coming out today, the mind gun. Gonna be solving all the riddles. Shit, which one was it? Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to check again. Please forgive me. Little one. Gramp. Hey, mommy.
sorry, mommy, sorry, mommy, sorry, mommy, sorry.
All right. Scramp. So what? Oh, surprise. Butterscotch cinnamon pie. Oh. Good idea, Shreese. Let's do it. Okay. Wow. Whew. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I gotta be honest. This is really sweet. I'm really excited. Yeah, this is a bit of a jump scare on the music, isn't it? Let me put on different something. Now that that album is over anyway. Wow. I love it. It's very sweet. It's very wholesome. And we're going to enjoy more of it. But first, I'm going to just put on some tunes. This isn't right. This isn't the right music. Give me a second. I'm going to get something a little bit more twee. Something a little more twee. And then we're going to go piss. What do you say? You guys like to piss? Here. I will play Yola Tango. And we'll go potty. I'll see you in a few minutes. Catch you on the flip. Go piss, girl. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. One Large Chicken, really glad to hear about your headphones being in the toilet. Hope that you give them a quick wipe down, or you put them inside or on top of your ears. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna keep playing Undertale in a moment. This is a very sweet game, and it's making me happy. Hermie, thank you so much for the resub. Almost a year. Yeah, holy shit. Wow. Romy, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, and happy Pride Year, everybody. Remember, it is Pride Year. It's still Pride Year, so don't get it twisted. This is gonna be a month where we can all be, well, not all of us. Only some of us can be extra proud. Only some. But it is Pride Year. It's Pride Year. I'm eating chips. Big shout out Voodoo Chips. Zaps. If you want to sponsor me, those apps. Happy Pride Year, everyone. Okay, let's kiss the cat. Thank you. Ingrid, I'm very bothered that this isn't seeming to work. The hold on. My I have to, that's the one thing that I have to fix here. I fixed a bunch of stuff recently, but I couldn't fix the other bot that's supposed to send the song title to you. I'm gonna have to update something or figure that out. But this is The Last Days of Disco by Yola Tango. So sorry about that. Okay, time to kiss the cat. And present boy. Good guy. Really good guy. Arthur, we love you. Here we go. Good cat. Oh, you want to see his pride hat? Home. His world's first gay cat. Um, first gay cat. Congratulations. World's first gay cat. Very proud of him. All right. Let's see. Okay, Undertale time. Let's go. What's up, Sage? What's up? You just want to say hi? Do you think I forgot to change the scene? I'm a professional now, Sage. I got my shit together. Has it been crunchy yet? Has it been crunchy yet? Eastside like that. The cat's gone woke. These cats these days. Aw. I've got my own little bedroom. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so cute. Thank you for the sip. Oh. Butterscotch cinnamon pie. Oh, that's nice. The way that it changes. That's good. When you turn the lights off. Look at these cool toys. They don't interest you at all. Room under renovations. But I can unlock that later. Whose room is this? Royal's diary. Yeah. Why did the skeleton want a friend? Because she was feeling lonely. I thought we were gonna get some kind of private story there, not a cute little joke. Wow. Okay, nice little puns. So goofy. Oh, what's this? Oh. Mommy, what are you keeping from me? Okay, you make me want to go back down, though. What you up to? What is this bitch up to? Look at her. She's reading her little book with her little glasses down. Hiding some bodies in the basement. Aw. I'm a little concerned about how much she wants to control me. You're right, Johnny, I did. Okay. I'm gonna go home. Oh no. Am I making this up, or is she kidnapping me a little bit? It's starting to feel a little Beau is Afraid. Nathan Lane. How to exit the ruins? I'll take it. Okay, I'll take a stealth back. White fur in the sink. Ah! Hello, Dreamer Money. Thank you. Thank you for that. No, I didn't fart. That wasn't you would. No, that was a gag. That was a gag that Money played. It was a whoopee cushion kind of thing. It wasn't the sound of me farting. You know, if I farted, you know. My farts are super loud. And they're deep. And manly. They're tough. No, that was too high up register. No, yeah, that was loud. My masculine gas is far louder. Thank you, Ghosty Socks, for recognizing it. Yeah, it's loud as hell. All right, and it's tough. It's tough. The farts are tough. I have to prove it. Anyone who knows me knows. Anyway. That wasn't me. That was a beta male fart. Yeah, I'm alpha. I'm real alpha. I fart like an alpha. How do I exit the ruins? Oh shit. Ah! No, mommy. No. Good comment. Thank you, wonderful boat. Okay. Thank you, Shreeze. We're on the same page here. They come. They leave. Oh. Asgore will kill you. Who's Asgore? Oh, mommy, I gotta go. She's trying to, she needs to, you gotta let me spread my wings and fly away, mommy. If you love something, let it go. You gotta let me fly. Oh shit. Okay.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Oh shit. I see. Oh my god, this is hard. Oh my god, it's hard. Am I supposed to fight her? Jeez. Shh. Oh jeez, okay. Do I have to fight her? Oh, okay, that's fair. Fuck. I ate all my pies too. Thank you, Shreeze, thank you. Okay. I want to talk to her. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. She's not trying to hurt me anymore. She's not trying to hurt me anymore. I guess she never wanted to. She wants me to fight her? She wants me to fight her? I don't want to fight her. I don't want to fight her. She won't let me get hurt. Cramp. I mean, I don't get it. Unless I have to fight her. Alright, just answer me this. Do I have to fight her? Or is there something else I'm missing? Yeah. Just keep doing that? I'm gonna keep confusing her? Okay. Just
it.
keep
You
on
guys can
sparing.
do it.
It's gonna work. Oriel, it's gonna work. I'm sorry I hit you once. Nope, okay, not talking. Okay. Come on, Toriel. There we go. There we go. There we go. I mean, it would be nice. She's nice, but I feel like to advance the game, I have to leave. And isn't that a nice metaphor for life? Sorry, Mommy, I have to go. Sorry. Why can't I come back? I made this choice. I could have stayed and learned about facts. Okay. Sometimes you gotta leave. Oh, this little shit. This little shit. Fuck you. Max. Yeah, no more mommy goat milk, I guess. That's scary. This guy's not regular. I think he's a villain. I don't like the flower. He seems bad. That's the beginning? That's just the beginning? Oh, wow. Ah, it's the tutorial. Got it. was that? What was that, James? Bye bye, Ingrid. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for your generosity. Oh, jeez, what's this? Huh? No. No thanks. Well, whatever your deal is, I'm going to show you empathy and you're going to become a friend. Okay. Uh-oh. That wasn't me. I like his little voice. I think it sounds that he's laughing. Sans and Papyrus. Wow. Wow. I get it. I got it. I get the picture. Oh, this guy's all huffing and puffing. He needs to learn how to hang out. I did notice the phones for the dialogue, Johnny. So I locked in. I can see Papyrus having Skeletor's voice. I can hear that. Sounds nice. Oh, Shreeze, you want me to do Skeletor voice? That's gonna ruin my voice. I mean, I feel like we could definitely do that. It's really unlocking a different part of the game. But it's also, that's a whole can of worms. I can't do it. I don't think I can. I can't do Skeletor. I can't do Skeletor. Now I can hear Skeletor, but you're not helping, you lazy bones. I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know how to do it. All you do is sit and boondoggle. You get lazier and lazier every day. I can't do it. I'm not doing. Take it easy. I've got a ton of work to do today. A skeleton. Sans! Come on, you're smiling. I am, and I hate it. That's what we want. Why does someone as great as me have to do so much just to get some recognition? Oh, sounds like you're really working yourself down to the bone. Nice. Ah! I will attend to my puzzles. As for your work, put a little more backbone into it. I can't keep this up. It's gonna hurt me. It's gonna hurt my voice. I can't do it. Yeah, Arthur got upset at me for doing it. Arthur's real upset at me. Okay, what's up, dude? He's a comic. His name is Sans. Very good. Like the Cookmans, Sage? Like the Cookmans? That's right, we're going knees up. We're getting cozy today. Zoomed into this. Shit. Ty, thank you for the posture check. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna go be friends with this guy. This is a box. Thanks, box lover. That is crazy. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that. What's his deal? Teen comedian fights to keep a captive audience. Alright, I laugh. Oh no. Oh, there we go. All you gotta do is laugh at him. Wait, it's crunchy? Oh, come on, really? Oh no. And it's that much worse, and it killed everyone. Great. Awesome. Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board, but apparently this is a lot worse now. I'm angry. That sucks. I put in a lot. It took a long time to reset all my shit, and I thought that that would fix it. No, it's just the I don't hear it. It's only for the stream, and it's only on application audio captures. All right. Well, I'm sorry to you. You're the ones who have to hear it, but I don't want, you guys being like, "Oh my god, our ears are bleeding." It's such a, it's so fucking frustrating. Okay. I'm gonna get a sweet treat. I'm gonna get some more tea. And we're KG, trust me, I'm trying. I don't understand. I have no fucking clue why it's just me. And it's just on application audio. It's not on my mic. It's not on anything else. Okay, I'm gonna kiss the cat. It's Sage, but it does. I don't care if it doesn't last that long. If people are on the stream and then they're like, "Oh my god, my ears are bleeding," that sucks. All this time and effort I'm putting into making this a good thing. All right. Enjoy this performance of Crazy Ken and the Crazy Ken Band singing their song Tal. I'm gonna get a piece of chocolate. Thank you, Ken. Thank you. All right. Here's what's up. I changed it back to the old capture style for now, so if it gets crunchy, it won't be as bad. It's very frustrating, and I got a little Maltesers bunny. Thank you, Sam, if you're here, for sending this Maltesers bunny. And bite the ears first. Yummy. I feel better. Thank you for that bite. I have one more bite. This one comes courtesy of Megs. Getting the Whitakers. Another good bite. Thank you all for being so supportive and sweet. We're gonna do this. It'll be all right.
Wow.
I did. Hey, Croft. Oh shit! I thought it was 9 months too. They fucking. Why the fuck you lying? You always lie. Pauline, what's your baby's name anyway? Sorry, our baby's name. What's our Twitch baby's name? It was the regular bunny, Sam. Slowpoke. Did you get it? Because I was looking for it. You got it today? Let's go. Can't wait to see it. I'm so glad. I need to see it. Because I was looking for it the other day. Shit. Because I was like, oh man, we gotta finish. But I guess you got it fully funded. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see this giant Slowpoke. Big baby. Let's give a quick shout out to Pauline, by the way. If you don't know, this is
Pictures. Here we go. It was this one.
Oh shit. Spoilers. If you don't know Pauline helped us very much at the start of the channel as a former mod here and a good friend, lovely streamer, and you should give her a follow. Oh, you got Final Girl Salim? I'm very glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. And thank you so much to Mishamael. Mishamael? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Thank you very much for the cheer. All right, so we are we are gonna get back into Undertale. This is Pauline. If you don't know, this is my first time playing Undertale, and I'm learning that it's very wholesome and adorable, and it's breaking my heart a lot already. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna get into our feels. We're gonna feel some things. Oops, that's not the game. That's not the game. That's the game. Okay. All right, cool. Good. I have mercy for this guy. Cool. Good start. Oh. What are they doing? Aren't they brothers? I'm not the only one seeing this, right? What? I'm not the only one seeing that. You got, I mean, they're brothers. What are you doing, Step Skeleton? Oh, I see. I see. Okay, the perspective was nice, Croft. Nice. Very good. Everyone have a good laugh. Oh my, oh no. That's cute because he doesn't have any eyes. They seem great. Do I want to go that way or do I want to see what's up here? Ah! Yeah? Oh. Why not? I want to call him. I want to call him. Fish. Yeah, this is when we put on our fishing music. Larry would have loved it. Oh man. I miss the sea. I gotta bring Larry back for like a Bass Pro Fisher type stream. Ice Cap. What's it? Oh, he's strutting around. Hey there, little guy. What are you all about? This teen wonders why he isn't named Ice Hat. I just love my hat, okay? It's a good hat. Okay, yeah, here, I'll just compliment your hat. Okay, I get it. My hat's too loud for you. Oh my god. Alright, well, I'm just gonna... Oh. Okay, I'm gonna steal your hat. Oh no. I shouldn't steal his hat, should I? He loves his hat. I just love my hat. Hello, my hat's up here. Just gonna not look at how cool your hat is. You're telling me that you can beat this monster by not being impressed by his hat? Great game. It's fantastic. Oh shit. You gotta pull Shania? That don't impress me much. Damn, I gotta get that. I got this ready to go.
Let's go, girl.
But I need to get... Now I need to pull the Shania for that. I gotta pull the... That don't impress me much. I gotta have a Shania only soundboard, clearly. Oh, Doggo blocks the way. All you gotta do is not move, huh? Can I, Oh, I pet him. Oh. Nice. What's up, dude? Cool guy. What's up, cool guy? Oh, he's a very special attack, you say? Okay, interesting. So that trick I just learned from the dog applies to everything. Okay, look at me learning game mechanics. You guys like game mechanics? You like game mechanics? You better let him work on your car in June. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Oh, it's a classic Pokemon slide. Why can't I read this? Oh. Oh. Ah, lesser dog. Oh. Oh wow, he got me. Alright, that worked. Oh my god, stop yelling, guy. Oh no. Damn, he zapped himself. It's pretty silly. These guys are a real Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, if you ask me.
Wow.
Hermie, thank you so much for the 3 gift subs. That's very cool. And hey, Nikki, Manda Zombie, and Flowy Happy. If you're around, please remember to thank your gifter and enjoy your primo emotes and your ad-free viewing. Alright, what's up, dude? It's so sweet, him being like, my brother needs a friend. Hello? Hello? Yes, please. I would love a frozen treat that warms your heart. Thank you. Wow, who are you? Is he kinda... Is he kinda... How come he kinda... How come he kinda... Is that just me? Are you sure, Pauline, or you think I need more soundboard space? Because I kind of think the soundboard's hugely important. I like this guy. Oh, what? Bring a soundboard to your next date. I like that. Oh, come on, let's get it in the hole. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Shit. Shit. No. Come on, here we go. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Get it. Get it. Get. Let's go. What do I earn? That's it. I only got 2 G's. Can I have it? Why aren't they giving me a treat? Yeah, I want a treat. Sure. So everyone agrees on the ice cream guy, right? Miss the ice cream guy. He make me go. I might not have fixed the crunch, but I did add the dolphin to the horny soundboard. Okay. What you do if we're on a date and I pull you close and I whisper in your ear? Okay. What? Am I supposed to solve? What am I supposed to do here? Restraining order speed run. Thank you, Prof. Yeah. We can, yeah, somewhere in there. To fill in, I can, and I'll fill in your blanks. I don't know. Is that part of it? Boo? I'm gonna boo. Okay. If we're doing horny puns. If we're, oh yeah, okay, cool. Alright. So what is the point of this one here? So we're gonna, thank you for the Thank you for the empty. So, okay, so we gotta find the words. I see monster. I see a geoscophe right here. I don't know what they are. This stuff. Hey, thanks for saying Junior Jumble just do a piece, my brother. That's really funny. With this music. Hey man, thanks. I just want to let you know, really appreciate you. My brother's having a fun time. Really means a lot to him. It's a note from Papyrus. Human, please try the spaghetti. Can I heat it up? I want biscotti. Oh no, I just read this. Oh shit. No, stop. Too bad your biscotti is words. Is that where you're coming from there? Where's this mouse? Where's that? I want to meet that guy. Warning, dog marriage. I don't think I need to be warned about that. I'd like to be invited though. Jerry came too. What's up with Jerry? Everyone knows Jerry. Oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna ignore. Oops, didn't work. I'm gonna ignore your hat again. The fact that I'm winning this fight by ignoring his hat is truly one of my favorite things. Wi-Fi here sucks. Oh no 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 no! Oh no! Oh my god! Can you imagine if I killed Jerry? Um. The map? Can I push this? No. Ah, there's a switch hidden in the snow. That's good. Oh. Ah. Doggy. Dogamy. There's only what he smells. Oh shit. No problem. Ooh, I wish I had some kind of... What? Oh, I was moving. I get it. Ah, fuck. Okay, so... Do I smell... Let's re-smell. Alright, I smell alright. Are you actually a little puppy? Oh shit. What am I supposed to do about that? Graham? I don't know what I did wrong. Oh shit. I'm just gonna get out of here. I don't want to deal with you guys. That's my first game over. I'm doing okay, if that's the case, right?
So sorry I died. I miss you so much.
Alright. Oh, you know what I gotta get is the what's her name? Scatting with her husband. I've been forgetting her name from Sex and the City. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, I'll play it when we do. Hang tight real quick while I get this going. What's her name? Who plays Samantha on Sex and the City? Why can't I remember the actress's name? Is there something wrong with me? Someone help. Not Sarah Jessica Parker. Kim Cattrall. All right, we're doing a quick aside.
I read poetry.
Quick aside. Brief aside, all right? You can do just a quick aside. Just a quick, you're gonna want to see this. And this is just what I'm imagining these dogs are doing. Oh, that's too big. That's not right. That's not right. I had this done well. I actually had this. It was gonna be on the TV. It was gonna look real good. Okay, yeah. Then I go there. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go.
I read poetry and sonnets, and he plays the upright bass. Yamakipiebo, sedere facebo, in dog Latin me quoth, UJ, sophist, hooray! Well, he bit all the he-dogs and winked at all the she-dogs. The town never knew such a hullabaloo as that little dog raised till the end of that day. We just have a good rhythm together, you know. He sort of feels me out, I feel him out, and we go for it.
All right, thank you everyone for embracing that for a moment. Well, he bit all the he dogs and winked at all the she dogs. Okay, get back to it, and we go for it. All right, here they are. Oh no, fuck. Oh no, okay. Forgot to roll around, I gotta roll around. Thank you, Anon, for the 3 months to Don't You Mean Padiddle. What am I supposed to do in this situation? Okay, I'm gonna roll around. Hey baby, you wanna scat? Yeah, they got a real good sense of rhythm, Pauline. They got a real good rhythm with each other. He likes to feel her out, she feels him out. Let's re-sniff. I bet they do. Also, Pauline, I bet they really do. I bet they make really good music. And the cameras aren't around. That's a scary one. Alright, cool. Oh, come on, I thought you thought I was a lost puppy. Okay, then I have to pet the other one. Oh jeez. Oh no, oh no. Barely made it out. That was a tough one. Dogs can pet other dogs? A new world has opened up for us. UJ, Sabasu Ray! Alright. Hey, Glenn. What does that do? Turning every X into an O. It's not that hard. Okay. I left it. Thanks, Papyrus. I like this guy. It's so sweet. My brother started a sock collection recently. Don't talk shit about your brother's hobbies. Okay. Oh, this is like one of those mobile games. Easy. You know those games where it's like, I bet you can't connect the dots without crossing the lines. I've never actually played them. I've only ever seen the ads, and they're all very frustrating to watch. I think that's what that's the idea. I love that. I love how they figured that out for the ads for those games. It's like, you gotta make a thing that you can clearly solve and make people frustrated watching it not get solved so that they'll download it to do it themselves. I love that idea. They make you so frustrated. It almost works on me. I'm like, I can't believe they keep walking through the minus sign. You know? Great job, guy. That is how we should advertise the stream. You're right, Al. Fuck. I should just film myself failing more. Let me know if it gets crunchy again. It should be a different crunch, but they will begin to change color. Red are impassable, you can't walk on them. Yellow are electric. Are alarm. Jeez. I have a feeling that I'm not gonna have to take any of this into account. Oh no, sound alerts aren't working? Wait, are sound alerts not working? Come on, really? Let's see. It was working earlier. So let me try this.
I'm gonna come.
Alright, so you heard that in Chrome. Now we hear it here.
I'm gonna come.
Oh no, that's working. You heard that, right?
I'm gonna come.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
We must come together.
Okay. We only hear the come one. Okay, but then the encouragement was not working. And record of the day, skeleton. You trying to nudge me towards Phoebe? I will do a skeleton of the day. Yeah, this is Go Kiss Girl. Weird. Okay, so those ones aren't working. But let me kiss my cat real quick. Your health to stretch, man. He's a truly good guy. Sorry I missed the posture check, so let's just posture check. And sip. Sorry about that. He's got catnip everywhere. He's all over the place. Cat with the glasses emote. I don't know if I know what you're talking about, Trine. Groovy cat with glasses gotta be someone else. That's not me. Oh, it's from Twitch. Got it. Alright, well let's head back in here. Okay, so he's gonna make a puzzle that he does. It's a completely random, brand new puzzle. I forgot the colors. Oh shit. I had a feeling that was gonna be the case. Well, let me step on red.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Thank you for the encouragement. I heard that one. Who's this? Hey, fuck you. It's easy for you to stand over here and say that kind of shit about that dog trying its best to make something. Boo. This is criticism sucks. Okay, this is just another fucking critic. Thank you for the boos. What are you contributing? What are you doing? What are you contributing sitting here in your like cool little sweater? Oh, look at my hip little sweater. Look at my thrifted sweater. It's a crazy color pattern. Oh, and I look so cool. And I just sit here and I go, oh, this guy fucking, what's his deal? This guy can't make art. Well, you can't either if all you do is stand there and criticize him. Fuck you. Eat shit. Fuck you. Just fuck off. Get lost. Nice. Oh my god. I didn't realize that would happen. Well, shit. So I'll go flying off if I go that way, huh? If I go that way, I'll go flying off. Okay, cool. Eat shit didn't seem to have played. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go... Bang. Bong. Ding. Dang. Zong. What? Why did that... That was a mistake. I'm doing this right. Mind gun. Thank you. Thank you for the mind guns, everyone. Ah, it's a snow puff. A tiny doghouse. Huh? Oh, I was expecting him to be smaller. That's a big guy. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thanks for the eat shit. Can I? Oh, not yet? Oh god. Gotta eat this nice cream.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Thank you for the encouragement, Chloe. Why is that not enough? Oh shit. That capacity is 40%. There we go. Oh. How is he operating the legs? Cute. This game is cute. Don't you know this game is cute? Oh. The Gauntlet of Deadly Terror. I have a feeling this isn't gonna be a Gauntlet of Deadly Terror. I have a feeling it's gonna something goofy is gonna happen. Love the dog. That reminds me of, I think it was one of my first TikToks. I reposted that video, that dog and the zip line. Love that video. What's the holdup? Oh, that's nice of him. I understand blue attacks. I get it. Welcome to Snowden. Alright. Appreciate, you know, protecting whistleblowers. Thank you, town. Thanks, wife. My wife. Borat, you guys. Borat? My wife. Hi. Oh, that's. I don't have that much money. Who's this? I like this one. Bun. Very cute. How come everyone in this town is so judgmental? Yo, you're a kid, right? I can tell because you're wearing a striped shirt. Ugh. Where's my rabbit ears? They're in a special place. I'll get them when my hair is nice and wet. Probably next time. I'll make sure to get my head real soppy wet on Sunday. Bilbies. Alright. Cool guy. He's a real cool guy. What did Johnny do? No, Johnny, no. No. Sophia, the game so far is adorable and sweet, and I'm looking forward to feeling more things. It's very, I haven't found it very challenging, the game. It's okay. I like I'm picking up what it's putting down. Oh, I'm sure you're funny. You have a sense of humor, little mouse. all about this. Love that. Oh, we got a library. Not really sure what I'm meant to do here. Oh. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But you need a friend, Papyrus. Oh, is he gonna fight me? Oh shit, okay. Ooh. The hand, look at the hand. Good Papyrus. Oh no, you're meeting all my standards! Let's date. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm trying very hard. Okay, so acting isn't gonna escalate this battle. I'm gonna have to. Do I have the spaghetti? Bone cologne. I got you, no problem, bro. Oh, what? I'm blue now? Oh, wow. Okay. Little game mechanic difference. Here we go. Is this gonna... Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, this is tough. I got my mailing bandana on. Cinnamon bunny. This is a track for sure. The music in this game is quite good, huh? Megs, do I look like I'm challenged? No. Come on. Oh, that's too far of a jump. That's ridiculous. Shit. Okay. Okay, whatever. Fine. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and clip the thing where I said it wasn't challenging. Go ahead and make fun of me. Go ahead and make fun of me. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, hey. That was gaming. You see that gaming? I shouldn't keep skipping his dialogue, it's all funny. Oh, hey, come on. Oh, so the flirt doesn't actually do anything, okay. Oh shit. Oh no. No! Did I lose? Oh no. I gotta try again. Oh, okay. No problem. I'm gonna do great this time. Alright, so I made progress. So I gotta sip. One sip. Big Flappy Bird. I love his little pose. Very proud of him. The eyebrow really sells it. Siobhan, I love it when you see, I love it when y'all comment like, oh my god, Arthur, because I'm not really paying attention. But I know what you mean. Hey, that was a surprise. keeps doing that. Am I missing something? Shit. He's dabbing his beauty yogurt. Okay, I know that I said it wasn't challenging and then I got killed twice, but we're gonna do it this time. Yeah, I guess I'll take a pee break and then we'll come back and finish this boss fight. I have to end a little early today, but let's do the pee break first. And then I'll do this boss fight and then we're gonna have a great night. After that, separate from each other. But first, let's pee, then let's play the game, then let's go about our separate ways. Okay. Love you. See you soon. 1 sec. Hold on, everyone. We've got a special guest. Let's see if we can get him on the day Wednesday. Is it working? All right. Well, that worked. I think. Love you, Bengi. He was done with his. Ooh, excuse me. He was done with his time on Act TV. You good guy. He's gonna go take a shit. Okay, good for you, Arthur. All right, thanks everybody, and we are going to get back in the game. We're gonna do this boss fight. And hold on 1 second. Oh, this isn't right. How did the purrs work for you all? I hope that the purrs worked well for you all. Oops. All right. Yeah, wait. My these freaking media player is being a little silly these days. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I'm doing my best to be a good boy. My media player. My iPod. What happened to my iPod? Huh? All right. Hold on. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. Just give me 1 second. Let me get back into the game here. I'm gonna pause the music anyway. And here we are.
Wow.
Thank you, Rhiannon. Thank you for the resub. Time really flies. You're almost at your moldy chip. Okay, I have to. So Here's the only thing. Am I right in assuming that I have to just keep on sparing and avoiding stuff? Do I need to like buy some spaghetti or something? I was doing great. Okay. Just making sure that I wasn't like missing something. Crunches are back. It's less bad than before because I used the different application. I'm not freaking out. Everything's normal. But I'm disturbed that... Oh. Why is he putting sauce behind his ear? That's not...
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Thank you for the encouragement, volatile vibes. This guy keeps rubbing weird, yucky things on his body to try to attract a mate. Like Jeremy Fragrance. Oh, he's giving us something to nibble on. I get it. It's aromantic. Anime powder. What? Dang. Fuck. Whew. This is actually kind of hard. Come on. Oh, that was a surprise. Fuck, I need more cinnamon buns. Ah, shit.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Thank you for the encouragement. All right, I gotta zoom in. All right, I'm zooming in. Zooming in. Oh, what? Oh, is that it? I zoomed in. It's because I zoomed in. Oh, cool. Ow. No, this is the only way this works. This is the only way this works. This is the only way. I didn't fail 3 times, then the game said it's okay. That's just how the game works, right? Oshchick, thank you, Isaac. Alright, cool skeleton friend. Love him. Very cool. Alright, GG. Thanks, Papyrus. Oh, wait. Oh my god. Sorry, I missed that. I was a little confused. Sorry, guys. I gotta date him. Sorry. Oh my god. Sorry, I almost skipped the date. If I had fucked that up, I would have been really upset at myself. That would have been really bad. That would have been really bad. That would be the kind of thing that you guys would have gone on Twitter to tell me how much I fucked it up. I would have never heard the end of it. I'm just trying to not fuck up. In life, in general. Oh, we're going on a date. Welcome to Scenic My House. Oh. Nice one, Sans. Find that puppy. Alright. Whoa. Not yet, dude. Not ready to go to the Bone Zone yet. Alright, I'm ready to go to the Bone Zone now. Guess let's date. Oh. Dating start. Oh my god, is this a dating sim now? 안녕하세요, 이기마쇼. Oh my god. Crime, population, reel it in, egg. I've never been beaten at dating. Who's gonna win the date? Let's see. Okay. Oh, he's going second phase. Oh wow, what a cool dude. I love it. Cool dude. Move and inspect. Whoa! Thank you, Anon, for the gift to Sean. That's very cool. Wow, also Croft, yes. Pyrez. Wow. Very good. Very good. Right on the nose with that one. Really, really good. My hat, my hat! Well then, you found my secret. Alright, you got a present. Is it... Oh, shit. If I open it, he might beat me at the date. But I do want a present. Alright, I'm gonna open it. Alright, spaghetti. Gotta eat it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, it's super effective. This is upsetting. This is very upsetting. And my media player is broken, so I can't do the joke I wanted to do. My media player. Come on. I was gonna play a good song. It was gonna be good for this. Alright. Okay, we can be friends. That's fine. That's okay. Yes, I agree. I think we can be friends. Yes, okay. All right. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Wow. Okay, he gave me his number. That's good. Okay. Well, to be honest, I wasn't that into him. I just thought that I don't know, I kind of felt the same way. To be honest, I kind of felt the same way. All right. Well, that was beautiful. I think it's time to wrap it up now. Wow. That hurt. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. We'll find someone else. We'll find someone better. Anyway. You know? There's other skeletons out there. Might even be someone with flesh. You know? Might even be someone with skin. The nice cream guy. The ice cream guy is way different. I'm actually way more into the ice cream guy. I almost forgot. I can't believe that all this attention I was getting from the skeleton made me forget about ice cream guy. Who really is my guy. I mean, okay. I'm feeling better about this now. Oh my god, Siobhan. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. It's time to go. It's time to get out of here.